all in. I'm gonna throw it 2, 1, and I'm gonna come over the top.
Okay, episode 41 of the RedHawk Recap. This episode is sponsored by Cushy Dreams. Stress, anxiety, sleeping problems, trouble quieting your mind. These are common problems, but they don't have to be so bad thanks to Cushy Dreams. Cushy Dreams specializes in high-quality, legal cannabis that's smokable CBD and smokable Delta-8 THC. CBD has been shown to help with anxiety, depression, inflammation, and pain relief without the high. And Delta-8 is similar, but with some added euphoria. Sorry about that. They're putting in mirrors at the gym here, so that'll be good. Whether you want to smoke beautiful bud or pre-rolls, Cushy Dreams has you covered. Their popular pre-rolled joints are rolled into organic hemp paper and feature an even, slow burn. Flower is available in 1/8 of an ounce, nitrogen-sealed cans, and now humidity-controlled half-ounce and full-ounce Mylar bags. They offer both indica and sativa strains, and you get to pick the mood you want to experience. If you want to relax, you want to create, you want to hustle, you want to go to practice, get a little smoke in you, peace, energy, dream. The flower looks, smells, tastes like high-quality marijuana, and it's always organic. Has low THC, under 0.3% THC. It is top shelf cannabis that ships discreetly to you and directly to all 50 states. So if you're hiding it from grandma or you're hiding it from your wife or something, which I know a lot of people that do, which is sad, then they'll ship it to you discreet. You can go in the garage and do a little smoke. The offer, go to cushydreams.com, KUSHY, at checkout. Use promo code all caps RedHawk for 25% off your next order, first, second, and third order. Smoke your CBD and Delta-8 with promo code RedHawk and get 25% off today. These are nice too. You can smoke these fucking joints and they don't just blast you off where you can't even talk anymore. So if you like doing a little smoke here and there, try them out. Cushy Dreams. We're here today with my friend Eryk, ya boy Anders. Eryk played as a linebacker for Alabama, and you guys won the national championship.
We did. We were the first under the Saban regime, and they've won like 7 now.
Holy smokes!
Together, yeah.
I bet that was a fun little stint in college, was it?
Yeah, it was great. First we started with Shula, and we really didn't win much, and then Saban came, had a whole culture change, and we started winning. It was great.
So did going to school in Alabama, did they take care of you pretty well there?
Kind of, yeah. While you're in school, there are no pro teams. There are no really other teams other than Auburn and UAB and stuff like that. So, Alabama reigns supreme. They've won the most. One of the most famous teams. They have a lot of history and tradition. So, the University of Alabama essentially is the pro team. So as soon as we started winning, everybody likes winners, So a lot of doors opened up.
So were you guys for a national championship team, you guys probably didn't party too hard, or did you guys get your fair share of partying in?
Dude, I was a 7 night a week
party
guy. I don't I've never slept much, so I would just be up all night, be at the bar, live that kind of life. But now that I'm older, I always think back, how much better could I have been? Even though I wasn't asleep, maybe I watched film at the house. Maybe I just lay down and rested. But, man, I've always been, kind of an antsy guy. So I've always been up and moving. So, the bar is open. Let me go see if I can.
And I bet being a starting linebacker for them, for the chicks, were the chicks just flooding in left and right?
Yeah. Like I said, everybody likes winners. Everybody likes starters. And if you play ball at Bama, then you know, you might as well be playing for the LA Lakers or
Fuck
or
yeah.
the Miami Dolphins, you know.
Well, it's crazy now. Now kids in college can start making money, right? Doing deals and shit.
Man, these kids are out here getting rich.
Are they
Yeah.
balling?
Yeah. There's a kid from Ohio State. I don't know. I can't remember his name, but when he was a freshman, he was like the third or fourth string. This kid's from Texas, and he sold the rights to his signature for 3 years for $1.5 million. So the only thing I don't know, I was like, does he get that money? Does it go into a trust, or like is that in his account? Like,
How old was he?
This kid's like 18, 19. You
Damn.
know, he graduated early and went to Ohio State, so he might have even been 17.
Yeah.
So.
Because looking back now, I mean, you probably could have got some serious endorsement deals back then. But who knows if that would have led you to where you're at. So after you guys won, what made you decide to fight instead of go to the NFL?
You know, that's a pretty popular question. You know, it's like, if I had the choice, I would have played. But essentially what it boils down to is I wasn't good enough, wasn't big enough, wasn't fast enough, wasn't all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I went to Canada, same thing. I got on with the Cleveland Browns, got cut. Went to Canada, got cut. Played a year of arena ball and, you know, pretty much just, you know, said if it's not the NFL, then I don't want to do this. So, you know, I was thinking I was going to go back to Alabama and land a cush, you know, corporate job, you know, doing whatever. But, you know, the doors weren't really open anymore. And, you know, all these dudes who own companies and CEOs of this, that, and the third would, you know, hey, let's go to lunch, let's talk about a job. And then I would spend 2 hours talking about Nick Saban and Mark Ingram, who was Alabama's first Heisman Trophy winner. And then just for at the end of the conversation, it's like, oh, we don't have any job opportunities. So, you know, I found myself, you know, I worked as a janitor. I cleaned apartments.
What degree did you get?
Health studies. But, you know, essentially I tell people, you know, I majored in eligibility, you know. That's essentially what it is. Like, I don't think that, like, if I had a kid and he went to school for that, I'd be like, dude, you're on your own. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, it's cool. Other than that, go get a trade. And so I just really found myself being frustrated that, you know, just a year ago, you know, I'm living in the same town that I just won a national championship or was on a national championship team. And I'm on my hands and knees scrubbing toilets and cleaning factories, working with, you know, people that are strung out on drugs, you know. And so, man, I just found myself, like, fighting all the time, you know, drinking.
In bars and shit?
Yeah, just wherever, you know.
Well, who the fuck was trying to fight you?
It did not take much to.
Was your neck always that big?
I used to have like a 22-inch neck. I think it's like 19 now. Yeah,
fuck.
I was way bigger, and it just didn't take much, dude. I was just like I was just like angry all the time, you know, kind of like bitter that the NFL thing didn't work out, and you know, my whole life they told me to graduate college, and you know, a lot of doors will open up, and you know. I was like, man, they lied to me. And
I bet too, like, yeah, winning the national championship, starting, being the fucking man in town, and then all of a sudden that's over. Like, fuck.
Yeah. So, you know, I was just like doing every drug and pill that I could get my hand on, drinking. And then I already had a kid, and, you know, I was just like, dude, I can't keep living like this. And, you know, I'm not going to be around, you know, to see my kid grow up and whatever. So I just walked into a gym, started training jiu-jitsu. Then maybe a month after that, and I was like, jiu-jitsu's cool and all, but see what these hands are talking about. Walked into another gym, sparred the very first day. You know, it's I walked in, the coach was like, can you fight? And I was like, fuck yeah.
Boxing gym?
Yeah. Well, it was an MMA gym, but this is Alabama, so there's not like, at the time, there's just not like very good, like well-rounded,
high-level training.
Yeah, and I knew Walt Harris, so he was like, "Come over here," and I was like, "Word." Coach was like, "Can you fight?" And dude, you can't ask like a 24-year-old, you know, dude who's been competing his whole life if he can fight. Like, yeah,
yeah,
dude,
for sure.
Yeah, I could fight. But then I fought Walt, and I realized, dude, I cannot fight. But
well, Walt walks around what, 280?
Walt's a big guy.
Yeah,
he's about 6'4", 280. And needless to say, I got beat up but I like fell in love with it right then and there. I was like, dude, I could learn to do this. You know, it's like, but you know, I think the biggest apprehension from like athletes who don't make it in a professional sport like basketball, football, or maybe even wrestling, no one wants to be a white belt again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I told you you had to turn in your black belt and had to start all over, you'd be like, fuck that.
Yeah.
So, but I was like all in, dude. I was like, dude, I'd rather do this and work in an office and be on my hands and knees. So let me put all my time, effort, and energy into this. And
so were you still working when you were training as an amateur?
Yeah, dude. I worked all the way until I main evented against Machida.
Damn.
And I was working at the gym at that point, so I was just, you know.
Yeah. But as an amateur, people are always asking about that. They always think, I mean, you got to have a job, I think. I think it's, especially when you're starting out as a pro, I think it's important to have a job to where you're not taking fights just to get the payday. I feel like that's a good way for your career to just spiral quickly, because you had quite a few amateur fights.
Yeah. You know, I started training at that gym, and you know, I'm pretty sure the coach was strung out on pills, because like I fought a month after I started training. Like, what kind of skills could you develop?
Yeah.
You know, inside of a month, and I fought twice. You know, I remember driving up to it was in Huntsville, Alabama, and I was smoking Newports on the way up to the fight. My coach didn't even show up. I had some random dude wrap my hands. I was like, dude, do you mind corner? You don't have to say anything. Just pull the stool out in between rounds. And,
smoking Newports on the way to the fight. Damn, that's fine.
It was just like a wild time in my life. And I had 2 fights. I had a boxing match and an MMA fight. And I knocked the guy out in like 50 seconds. And then, man, I was like, dude, this is it. This is it. So, yeah, I know. I worked. I did everything. I worked for Coca-Cola. I finally landed a government job up in Huntsville, and that was cool. Got to travel around and stuff. And
for your government job?
Yeah, I was doing logistics for like procuring parts for like Apache helicopters and.
And like, what kind of hours did they have you on there where you could train still?
I just had to work 8 hours, so I could show up at 6 and leave early, or I could show up at 8 and leave at 5. But it really didn't matter, because I would always get up at like 4:30 in the morning, go work out, take a shower, go to work, not even go home, just go straight to the gym, train, and then not get home until like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, because you fought. So how many amateur fights you have here?
23, 24.
That's crazy, because usually people like with your athletic ability, I mean, have 4 or 5 amateur fights, and they're like, fuck that, I'm not doing this for free anymore. But you were just you were enjoying it and just getting the experience, or did you have anyone kind of guiding you?
No, like my coach at the time was like, I'm telling you, dude, he was strung out, dude. It was so negligent. Like, I was fighting like every 2 weeks, and of course your body don't appreciate that shit, because you're cutting weight, you're getting hit, you have to train in between to stay in shape and stuff. But you know, looking back now, I thought I was just getting experience, like cage time. But you know, my coach at the time, he was just kind of like a dog and pony show. He's like, look at my guy, like Alabama football player, blah 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 blah.
Dang.
And so I switched gyms to Spartan Fitness there in Birmingham, and they just kind of took my career in a totally different direction. I probably fought like 4 or 5 times there as an amateur before I went pro, because that's when I decided to go to 85 instead of fighting at 205. So I wanted to practice my weight cut and doing all that before I went pro, because I figured the 85 would be my weight class.
In college, what were you walking around at?
Like 235.
Damn. 235, eating, putting on the poundage.
Dude, I was on a catfish diet. I was eating pizzas at like midnight, ice cream, beer, just, you know, because I was a smaller guy. So they were like, dude, you need to like
fucking bulk,
get big. So I was just like, all right. But if I wish I knew then what I know now about like diet and nutrition. It's like, dude, you can still put on like mass, but you don't have to eat shit, you know, all the time, you know.
So we're about 2 weeks out now, and you're fighting Jung Yong Park, the Iron Turtle. And you said you weighed about how much?
I'm like 200 pounds right now.
Damn, that's perfect, right?
Yeah. So I like to show up at fight week about 200 and maintain that all week, and then just cut that 15, and it's no problem.
Who started teaching you kind of how to eat healthy and kind of a healthier lifestyle? Who taught you?
My wife. When I met her, she's into like fitness, competing, and stuff like that, and I was telling her like what I do to eat, and I was like, I essentially don't eat anything that's other than leaves, like spinach leaves on the fight week, and she's like, this is dumb. You should eat more but smaller meals, and your metabolism will speed up, and all this. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, word. And then I learned how to like water load, and now like the cuts used to be like miserable. I used to hate it. I'm like, man, fuck. Start doing math, like how much is 30% of my purse? Like, is it worth it? Like, yeah, I need every penny, dude. I'm broke. And yeah, so she kind of taught me how to do that. And started cooking and making all my meals and stuff for me, and now the more I do it, it gets easier and easier.
Hell yeah, that's badass. I think the first time I saw you, I think, was in Fresno. Was that your debut?
No, that was my second fight.
Oh, that was your second fight. Oh yeah, okay, Swanson or Ortega. Damn, that's fucking sweet. So you get many concussions in football?
The only time that I've ever been like knocked unconscious is playing football. Once when I was 12, and another time when I was in college. And both times they were like, "Are you all right?" I was like, "I think so." And like, "Okay, cool, go do it again."
Get back in there. Fuck. How did you get knocked out?
The first time, there's I can't remember if it's called an Oklahoma drill or an angle tackling drill, but one guy's 10 yards apart, and there's a cone in the middle, and you just run as hard and as fast and meet in the middle. But dude, no one wanted to go with this kid, and I was like, man, fuck it, I'll do it. And so I just ran full speed, put my head down, and boom, got up, walked to the back of the line, and just kind of got dizzy. And now you kind of wake up and hear yourself like, and you wake up and everybody's looking over you, and it's like, don't worry, dude, he does that to everybody. I was like, fuck, dude.
God damn.
Fuck. And when I was in college and it happened, it was actually kind of scary because I was running down on a kickoff and, had a collision.
You the wedge buster?
Yeah, I did. Called it Suicide Squad for a reason. And, dude, like my next and it was on the opposite side of the field, and my next cognitive memory, I was on our sideline on the other side of the field, and I just remember wondering, I was like, dude, how did I get here? I was just over there. I don't even remember walking. It's a 50-yard field, dude, so it's it's a bit of ways. So like there's this 2-3 minute gap in my memory. I was like, dude, how the fuck? Oh, kickoff, go do it again. I was like, all right,
bro. So what kind of stuff stuck out that Nick Saban that made him such a good leader that you think?
He just changed the whole culture. He held everybody accountable for off the field stuff too. Drug tests, going to class,
texting people, like personally texting people and just staying on top of them.
Yeah, dude, he was awesome. And the thing that I think amazed me the most is he'd be talking to somebody over here, not even paying attention to what's going on over there. Stop talking to this dude, make corrections over here, and then go back to talking to this. Like, how the fuck did you even see that? But another thing is, he created an atmosphere of competition. When the other guy was there, dude, if you were a senior, you were starting, you were playing no matter what. But when Saban came, he's like, dude, I don't care if you're a fifth-year senior or a true freshman, the best player is going to play. And don't think that just because you start at the beginning of the season that, come week 8, 9, 10, you're still going to be the starter. If you have like a bad day or a bad week of practice, dude, they're going to put somebody in front of you. So you got to be on your shit all the time.
So everyone tighten it up.
Yeah. So, nobody wants to start starting and then lose their position, especially to a younger guy. So everybody, just got on their shit, their schoolwork, and he's one of those guys that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So he made sure everybody was going to class, passing, doing all the things they needed to do, and then you got a chance to compete for a starting spot. Hell
yeah, that's badass. Yeah, that's real badass. So what kind of led you to come out to AZ?
Man, there's just not a whole lot of training partners, and the coaches are really limited out there. So I just needed a change. I needed to like develop. You know, I have the athletic ability. Like you can teach me to do anything. You teach me how to do a backflip. You do a somersault. You know, whatever. But I just needed somebody to teach me. You know, show me how to be a fighter instead of a brawler. Because you know, I'll bite down. You know, you don't have to teach me. You know, that's just in me. You know, and so my manager Jason House was like, "Hey, you should go holler at Eddie. Go check him out." And came out here, and I just like fell in love with his striking system. Like the movement in and out, range and distance is the first time, you know, anybody ever said anything about range and distance for me. And I've been traveling around. I've been everywhere, a lot of places. And it was the first time someone was like, dude, you need to, why are you always trying to fight everybody on their toes? Like, that's why you get hit a lot, you know? That's why you fucking always need surgery after fights and stuff. Like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Fuck yeah.
And then Santino, his game plan, you know, with those two, and then, you know, the athletes that are over there are fight ready, it's, you know, just, it's perfect for me.
Hell yeah. So this is the first fight camp through Fight Ready, right?
Yeah, this will be my fourth.
The fourth.
Yeah, the first Darren Stewart, second Darren Stewart, Muniz, and now Park.
Jungbong, yeah. So do you you have an Airbnb out here?
Yeah, I get one like right across the street.
Just by yourself?
Yeah, I like to be by myself because, you know, especially towards the end of the weight cut, dude, I start getting all irritable and whatnot. So I just like to be by myself. I don't like to wait for nobody to hurry up and get in the car. Or,
dude, wives, especially being with your wife. Wives go through so much dating a fighter. Fucking when they have their injuries, when they're being moody as fuck about their weight cuts, just constantly every night sore as fuck. So how many weeks out do you leave your two boys and your wife?
8 weeks. Yeah. So the fight week would be the 8th week. But my wife, dude, she's a soldier, dude. She gets it. She's the one who told me, she's like, you got to leave. You got to go, you know, because I didn't want to go, you know, because, you know, I got 2 kids and her, and she was like, dude, how much longer are you going to fight? You know, you have the rest of your life to, you know, be a parent, do all this other stuff, and, you know, so go while you still can, because, you know, you don't want to be 50 and be like, damn, I could have done this, I should have done that, you know, just, you know, go
all in.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So what do you usually like to do in your free time? You like to do a little smoke?
Nah, I used to smoke a lot, and then I smoked that toad, you know, that I did some DMT, and now, dude, I just get like super like antsy and anxiety and weird whenever I smoke. So I just like, dude, this is not fun for me no more.
After the toad?
Yeah.
So what was your experience like on the toad?
Death. You know, it's dude, it really is like a kind of kills your ego, you know, have you ever done DMT?
I tried to and I failed. I think I didn't cook it the right amount. And I tried multiple times too. I'm like, maybe it was bad DMT, but I was like, fuck, I fucked it up like 3 times in a row.
So I think like not that I think, but there's 2 kinds of DMT, and there's like MMDMT, which, you know, I've smoked that, and you just lay back and it's like kaleidoscope, just shapes and colors and whatever. But this 5-MeO DMT, dude, I just felt like I was experiencing death. Like everything went white. Felt like I kind of astral projected, and just felt like my soul. And like you fight it like you don't want to, because like, dude, I remember thinking like, dude, I just fucked up. You know, I just killed.
That was scary.
I just killed myself.
Damn. Because who'd you do it with? Or
I did it in Cejudo's backyard. And yeah, and I was just like, so, you know, I wasn't like coherent. Like I didn't know what I was doing, but I was like rolling around in his yard screaming
too. Fuck.
Like after, he was like, dude, I'm really surprised the cops didn't come, because you were, you know, wilding out. But you don't know you're doing it. But I do remember like being terrified, like, oh my God, dude, I just fucking killed myself and just orphaned my wife and kids. And then you accept it. It's like, all right, dude, fuck. You know, wherever I'm going, I'm there. I'm on the way. Like, there ain't no coming back. So, like, you just ride this wave, and then, boom, you come back. And I just remember, like, laying down, face down in the grass, and just, like, feeling like nirvana, just peace, like calmness, just not a worry in the world. You know, it's kind of like at the end of a mushroom trip too. Dude. I was fucking watching the grass grow and shit. And are you okay? I'm like, man, just leave me alone for a second. Yeah, just let me have this moment for myself. And dude, I tried to smoke a couple times after that, and I was just like, that's not for me no more.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's nice. Yeah, the thing about I'm scared of doing that. I wanted to take sugar and do some ayahuasca and shit, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait till after fighting. I don't want him to kill that mode he's got right now and just be too nice and let go of his ego too much, you know.
Well, with ayahuasca is a little bit different. Like I've heard of people doing that. Fighters especially, like they'll go do ayahuasca, which is DMT, and they kind of lose that motivation, whatever made them the fighter they were or why they started fighting. They kind of lose that. Maybe it was like, you know, they had some childhood trauma that, you know, subconsciously is why they fight, because, you know, whatever. And they kind of get over that through the ayahuasca, and now they're not they have no desire to fight anymore. But I think with the toad made me want to fight more. Dang. You know, I was like, man, you know, anything that, because man, there's nothing scarier than thinking you're gonna die. See, I'm not sure like what nerves he's got or you have before you go out and fight, but whatever it is, it comes second to, you know, what you would think when you think you're dying, you know?
Yeah, fuck yeah, for sure. For sure. So we're back in the Apex next week. You like fighting in the quiet?
Perfect scenario for me. They would take that cage in the Apex to the crowds, to the pay-per-view events, because I do like the smaller cage. You know, for a fighter like me who wants to stand there and, you know, throw hands, like there's not a lot of running.
Yeah.
You know, they say go, you walk out, touch gloves, and you're on like 2 steps, you're on top of each other. So I like that. But, you know, it's the quiet is cool, but man, there's just no better feeling than knocking somebody out and hearing the roar of the crowd. Yeah, you know.
Fuck, electric.
I couldn't imagine how Michael Chandler felt this past weekend. You know,
I wasn't in there, but I heard it was loud as fuck.
Dude, it got wild in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad to see Tony go down that hard, wasn't it? But it sounds like he's not retiring. He's definitely ready to rumble again. I feel like him and Nate Diaz, that would be a good match.
Yeah. You know, let them two go at it. You know, I think I like Tony in that matchup. You know, he's just both those guys are such a fan favorite. Like, and them walking out alone, that place is gonna, you know, they're gonna tear the roof off that place.
Yeah, Charles. What do you think next should be next for Charles? In your opinion?
I think it's fair that he fights the winner of Dariush and Islam. Yeah. Cause I don't know like what the rankings are, but man, those guys are on like 10 or 12 fight win streaks or whatever. So, you know, they've already got pen to paper, I think. So let them fight, and then, you know.
Yeah, I hope the fight with him and Islam happens. Because if he fucking just runs through Islam, it'll be like, damn, he probably could have smoked Habib. But he's just been looking like a fucking terror lately, dude.
Yeah, you know, I have to go back and watch Oliveira's like fights, but man, I don't know what, like, of course he's got phenomenal jiu-jitsu, like, but you know, I feel like all his submissions are like rear naked chokes and darces, and you know, so, but like jumping darces and guillotines and stuff, you know, I don't know what, you know, how many submissions he has like just off his back, you know. So I'm interested to see, because if if Islam takes him down, like, can he triangle him? Can he armbar him? Like, I feel like most of his submissions are chokes from the back.
Yeah, fucking fun to watch, dude. Every fight he's in is just so fun to watch. So what kind of shit now? You're 35 years old now. What kind of stuff you doing now to recovery that really sticks out? Anything special?
A lot of cryotherapy, the Normatec boots.
How much cryo?
I try to do it every day.
Do you, right?
Yeah. Cold tubs. I try to sleep more. Like, you know, I don't go out and party anymore, really. So,
feel like you got it out of your system a bit.
Yeah. And
See, I'm hoping.
Don't have the desire. I'm married. Like, if I'm going out, like, what other reason is there to go out than to pick up women.
That's the thing, dude. Going out, it's just if you're not getting chicks, it's not even that fun. I'd rather be Netflixing and chilling. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. So, like after the fight, of course, like I'll go out with my old lady. It's fun, just because you're on that high or whatever. But I usually just kick it in the crib, and like I said, even though I'm not asleep, like if I'm off my feet, just kicking it, just resting, you're still like recovering a little bit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's really hard to recover when you're running around, drinking and doing all that other stuff.
Yeah, the alcohol, dude. Fuck the alcohol. Shit fucks you up just too bad. So like today, what kind of stuff did you? What did you eat for breakfast today?
I had one of those icon meals, some sweet potatoes and chicken, because I knew today would be a harder day. Did some live wrestling goes with Ray Waters and Austin Clifford. I don't know if you know who they are, but
I know Ray. I'm not familiar with the Austin kid.
Yeah, he wrestled at ASU as well. Ray's one of the most athletically gifted guys I've ever.
Is he really? That's what I keep hearing.
Dude, he posted a video on his Instagram when he was like 9 doing like parallel bars, some like fucking gymnastics shit. I was like, what?
Damn.
And yeah, dude, you grab him, he's like super strong. He can do all those backflips and tumbles and all that stuff. Super explosive. So, just working with like a guy like that, Jinju Park, there's no way he's like that caliber of athlete. I'm not saying he's not an athlete, but he's not going to be able to blast double me like that. He's not going to be able to pick me up like that. He's not going to be able to. There's no way he's that strong, explosive. So if I can handle Ray, then.
Is that what this young guy's going to try to do, is take you down?
I don't know. He seems to be a striker, but, he got TKO'd in his last fight, so I don't know. Some fighter that ruins their confidence in their striking, fighting, like that. So he beat some fighters wrestling, so we'll see what he tries.
Yeah, you see some guys get after a loss or getting finished or whatever, it kind of demoralizes them a little bit. You ever after your losses and stuff, are you pretty good with deal with them, or do you go to sports psychology, or what do you usually do?
Yeah, I give myself 24 hours. Win, lose, or draw, like 24 hours of sulk, 24 hours to, kind of beat my chest a little bit. And then after that, like when I get back home on Sunday, it's back to reality, I'm not a fighter anymore. I'm dad, husband, and, just working my garden.
Yeah, who kind of taught you to have that mindset and that outlook?
That's a Nick Saban thing.
Was it?
Yeah, because, we were winning, so he wanted to, like, teach, like, complacency and, dude, what you did last week ain't got shit to do with what you do, this week. Mm-hmm. So, if you keep talking about, beating Florida and we're playing LSU this week, LSU's going to whoop your ass. And then you're going to be talking about losing to LSU, and now you got to play Georgia. So you just got to, keep it moving.
Damn, that's nice. That's nice. What kind of shows you into?
I'm finishing up Ozark, but my favorites are like murder mysteries and documentaries. Forensic Files is probably my favorite show ever, and just all those, like, I like watching like those Ted Bundys, and I think it's crazy, like somebody could, like, has that in them to do that. Was that person made, or was it nurtured, or whatever? I think that kind of shit is wild.
Yeah, were they made by their parents? Was it some drug their parents did that gave them that sociopath just to not give a fuck about anyone? It is interesting. I'm watching this show right now. I think it's called Who Do You Believe on Hulu. It's like real stories of couples and her side of the story, and then you hear his side of the story, and they're always completely fucking different. And you got to try to decide who's lying. It's pretty interesting.
Does it tell you at the end?
It doesn't tell you at the end, so you just got to kind of decide. But it's pretty. We only watched the first episode, and it was pretty easy to tell that the girl's the fucking psycho liar. Yeah, that's crazy shit. Crazy shit. So, how old are your boys?
12 and 10.
What are they into?
Everything. They play pretty much all the ball sports. Football, wrestling. The oldest one does football, wrestling, track. He wants to play basketball.
Do they like watching their dad fight?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because, you know, if we just go, like, as a family to a fight, they sit there, they watch the whole thing. But when they go to watch me fight, dude, as soon as I'm done fighting, dude, they pass out, dude. It's like...
I bet. High.
Yeah, dude. It's like a sugar rush for them, dude. They, you know, they get super amped up, and then they crash. They never make it to the end. But, yeah, they're into everything. You know, in the off-season, they do jiu-jitsu. They play soccer. They box. They do everything. And that's like kind of our only rule in the house. It's like, dude, you don't have to fight. You know, this is what I do. You wear your own shoes kind of thing. But you have to do something. You have to have some kind of extracurricular activity. You want to be on the chess team, cool. You want to be on the math team, fine. But you have to be doing, you know, something.
In college, was steroids pretty big?
There's only one person at all 5 years that I was there that I know for a fact did them.
And never got busted.
And then he just, you know, he told me. You know, that's the only reason why I know, you know. But outside of that, just, I don't think so. I think some of these guys are just fucking
gifted.
You know, yeah, just hit the genetic lottery.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Well, being around any NFL players or NBA players, you're like, what the fuck? Like, when I saw Greg Hardy the first time, I'm like, Jesus, fuck, bro.
And that dude's an all-pro, dude. People talk about me being like a football player and going to MMA. No, that motherfucker was the best of the best, you know, and then got into MMA. He's just a heavyweight, you know. It's fucking one punch from either one of those guys could.
Fucking night, dude. Yeah, I was surprised. I wonder what Greg Hardy's going to go from here.
I'm sure that he'll do some boxing, or that seems to be the
road.
The next avenue after the UFC is some bare knuckle shit, which...
What do you think of the bare knuckle shit?
I mean, it's cool, you know, unless they come in with like a big check. I'm not doing it.
Say they come to you 70 and 70.
Nah, hell nah. Fuck no.
I know, dude. Just crumpling your... You have strong hands?
Dude, I've already broken it with the glove on, so...
That's the thing, dude.
Have you ever been to one?
I have.
Dude, people like, oh, that's cool. Fuck that. Go to one and see if you want to do that shit. Fuck no.
That's what I think, too. I'm like, dude, my hand will explode hitting someone's skull.
Yeah, well, every punch, dude, like the fights usually only last one round.
Yeah.
And then every punch, they're like, dude, it just looks like their face is getting lacerated.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like maybe a little bit of support because they can, I think they can tape like an inch below their knuckles. Maybe it'll support your wrist a little bit, but still, dude, I'm like, fuck that is right, bro.
And there is no pecking and popping and peppering, dude. Those motherfuckers are chucking. I'm like, nah, hell nah, dude.
That's what I think, too.
They come with that Paige Van Zandt money, though.
That's the thing.
Man, we'll have a conversation.
7 figs?
Yeah, over 4 or 5. Like, you know, I can fuck with that.
Damn, so yeah, Greg Hardy, he got TKO'd, KO'd, and TKO'd. Tough fucking fights. They give him really tough fights.
But dude, even that Tuivasa, you know, he had Tuivasa on skates.
He did.
He cracked him, and like, you know, I don't know how hurt he was, but you know, when somebody can't find the floor with their feet, you know, you hurt him pretty good, you know, and he just wasn't able to finish the fight. But you know, he's like that far away from beating the dude who
about to fight for the title.
Yeah, well, he's fighting Gain next. If he beats Gain, he's for sure gonna fight for the belt.
And I think that was the same card. Yeah, Suge was on, and the size difference between those two, I was like, dude, how the fuck is Ty gonna beat this guy? And then he clubs him with that fucking left hook coming in. That was sweet, dude. Yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, what else do you got on agenda for the day?
I'll go home after this, take a nap, get up, run, get a massage, you know, get stretched out, hit the sauna, and call it a day.
Boom, perfect. Fuck yeah. You ever been to a rub and tug parlor?
I have not. These are like mysteries to me. Everybody I talk to is like, oh yeah, I've been to one. They exist. I'm like,
would your wife get mad?
Duh, of course.
Was she? It's weird to me, yeah, that person can rub you everywhere. Yeah, but if they touch that muscle, that certain muscle, it's the fucking end of the world.
Yeah, well, you know, she's giving me sexual pleasure. I think that's what the bottom line is. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're all over around here. There's fucking tug parlors. If if it says massage and then you go in there and they open a sliding glass window, it's 100% a tug parlor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, probably a couple months ago they had all the rub and tug ladies out on the curb, and all the guys that were in there on the curb. The cops busted them.
Oh wow.
I wonder how they busted him though. Bust in there and he's got a boner. He's like, "You."
I'm sure somebody
undercover.
Yeah, there was some undercover guy getting jerked off before the rest of the police came in. He's like, hold on.
Yeah. Fuck. So you do any type of meditation type stuff?
I do. Just sit in the dark with my eyes closed, and just like I do like visualization stuff. Like, how do I want the fight to go? How do I think it'll go? Like, play it out like several times, over and over and over and over and over. And sometimes, like when I fought Vinicius Mohair or whatever, I can't really pronounce his last name. But anyways, I knew that he was going to shoot. I knew that I was going to not sit out, but I forget what that shit's called, where they shoot like a head outside and you kind of
switch.
No, I didn't go under. I went over and like stepped his head.
Oh, okay.
And like sat down. Mm-hmm. And then we came up, and I turned the corner and got up before he did and cracked him. And I saw that over and over and over and over. You know, I think obviously it's not 100%. If it was, I'd be undefeated. You know?
Yeah.
But I think it works pretty well to kind of get that going in your mind. And
so you're doing a lot of like visualization. But like meditation to where you sit there and you try to just completely clear your mind. Do you do any of that, or mostly visualization stuff?
Mostly visualization, because I like to see the fight happen, like maybe see myself get hurt and bounce back, get back, and find a way to win the fight, kind of thing. But yeah, maybe I just don't know how to meditate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think many people are born knowing how, but you should check out this app that Sugar and I use. It's called the Waking Up app with Sam Harris, and it's this neuroscientist, and he walks you through a meditation course, and it's pretty simple. And then he talks to different like brain experts and stuff on there. It's pretty interesting shit. So
yeah, send it to me. I'm down to try whatever.
Hell yeah, I will, dude. Yeah, so it's been good getting a couple rolls in with you, coming to the gym. I was pumped when you came in. And I was surprised. I was like, I bet his jiu-jitsu's not that good. But your jiu-jitsu's pretty fucking good, dude.
It's what I started with, and I like jiu-jitsu. And even when I'm done fighting, I'll probably forever do jiu-jitsu, because you can do it when you're an old man. You can't fight, box, and get punched in the face. That shit has a shelf life. But, jiu-jitsu, like...
And usually guys with your type of strength and your type of athleticism, it takes them a while to get good at jiu-jitsu. Just because they're muscling through things, they're using their power to explode and get out of things, so they don't really slow it down and try to actually get good at the techniques, That's why I was surprised with you. I was like, damn, his technique's real solid.
My thing was, dude, I don't want to, like, rely on attributes. Mm-hmm. Like, I can use the attributes in a fight when I have to, Hulk out or something. I can do that. Mm-hmm. But I'm never, ever – it's a lot easier when you, like, technique it, you know? And, for my training partners, it's not going to be fun for you to roll with me or want to roll with me, if I'm, like, pushing on your face and, like, you're getting beat up when you're rolling with me.
Yeah.
That's how people get hurt. So I kind of try to take the attributes out of it, or, maybe bringing my strength down to, the person that I'm rolling. If I'm rolling with a 150-pound person, like, is this a realistic roll if he's my size and I'm just, like, bench pressing him off of me?
Yeah.
Of course not. So when I get somebody my size, I try to bench press, and they don't work. I'm like, oh, shit, now what? Like, you better pummel for that underhook, or, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, the better people you go with, the more you have to just do things right. If you're guessing, I mean, if you're going against a brown belt and a black belt, it's just the guessing. Sometimes it'll work, but not a lot.
Sure.
Do you train in the gi much?
I do. Yeah. I had to get used to the gi. Like, when I first put it on, dude, I want to throw that motherfucker out the window. Every
day. You get choked with it?
Dude,
you're like, what the
time,
fuck?
Dude, and just, like, held down and pinned down. I'm just like, God damn, dude, I can't even get away from my own clothes,
Hell yeah.
But then I also thought, like, dude, if you get in a fight, people, like, there's that argument, like, real life application. Dude, if you have a collared shirt on or a button down shirt, dude, that's a fucking gi top. And I can choke you with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, there is like gi application to real life. And if you know you're wearing a t-shirt and you go to take off your shirt, then we're not doing jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna sock you, you know, while you have your shirt over your head, you know. So
yeah, it's definitely just a different game. I like it. It slows it down a little bit. It's a little bit more thinking. But I mean, training in the gi, it probably does benefit you a little bit. You're still on the mats. You're still just understanding jiu-jitsu. And the grips you need to have training in the gi, 100% that's going to overall build your grip strength for guillotines, front headlocks, and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure. Ask Oliveira if he trains in a gi.
Yeah, exactly.
I guarantee you he trains in a gi.
Yep.
100%. And I'm sure he does like no gi stuff too, but that guy puts a gi on, you know, a couple times a week, I'd imagine.
Yeah, for sure. So you listen to much podcasts?
Not really. I'm never in a car long enough to, you know, listen to a podcast, you know, but yeah, no, not really.
Yeah, not too many. Well, sweet, dude. Thanks for coming on. Fucking pumped to watch you whoop this dude's ass. Oh, yeah, you were on the Netflix show, the Cobra Kai show. How did that come about? Your manager hit you up?
Nah, it's just kind of right place at the right time. You know, the South right now is kind of like the mecca for Hollywood because it's way cheaper to film in Alabama and Georgia than it is California and New York. So, man, there's like 160, what you call it, like movies being shot in Atlanta this year alone.
Damn.
You know, that's because, you know, like I said,
because of taxes.
Yeah. California, even Hollywood's like, man, fuck this.
Yeah.
And they filmed the movie with oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. You ever seen Blade? The very first one.
Fuck, if I did, it would have been a long ass time ago.
All right, well, the main bad guy in that, dude.
The black guy.
Well, he's the good guy, but the antagonist in the movie, dude, I can't believe. Anyways, they were filming a movie in Birmingham, an MMA movie, and they wanted to use our gym and use us all as like extras in the background and stuff. So, and then the stunt coordinator for that got the job for Cobra Kai, and they needed a big Mexican-looking guy. So they're like, "Hey, Eryk's big and he looks Mexican. Let him do it." And sure enough, you know, I did it and got to fight Johnny Lawrence. And
was that a good time?
It was, you know, just the behind-the-scenes stuff, dude. It was 2 12-hour days, so 24 hours of filming, just these 2 scenes. And I guarantee you, I haven't seen it, but I guarantee you, this is like the final cut is probably like a minute of what I actually did.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you film it, you finally get it right, and then they switch the cameras to the other side, and you have to do it all over again the exact same way. And at the end, I was like, dude, this is fucking exhausting, dude. But I was like, dude, it was a cool experience to, you know, see how it all works and be a part of it. Because, you know, Cobra Kai is like the #1 show on Netflix whenever it drops. So.
That's fucking badass. Yeah,
good.
I always think about that with the actors. I'm like, dude, that is not an easy job.
It's not. And me, I have no acting experience. So
yeah,
the whole time, I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Somebody give me some feedback. Do I suck? Am I good? Am I all right? Like what? And, yeah, you know, but I don't know because, you know, Hollywood, they're like, oh, dude, that's great. It's just crazy, like, how nice they were, especially to, like, the main people, that they could do no wrong. Like, somebody completely say the wrong line. It's like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry, man. You're doing awesome. Do it again. And I was like.
And then when you do something wrong, they're like, oh,
no, they were the same way.
Oh,
dude.
they're cool?
But outwardly. But I'm just like, are they saying that just because I'm here now and they just need this shit to hurry up and go?
Yeah.
Or and they don't want to like ruin my confidence, you know, or whatever. But in their head, they're like, dude, fuck this guy, dude. Goddamn. Like, get it right.
2 12-hour days, too, for maybe a minute scene. I mean, the reality show I was on, the Bellator Fight Master show, 6 weeks of cameras on you every fucking moment. And then what they show, each episode's like, without commercials, is maybe 30 minutes. You're like, fuck, so much more went on than that. Yeah, it's crazy shit. But
it was cool, man. You know, I'd love to do it again, or you know, the acting thing is actually kind of fun. You know, to kind of step inside. You know, I got to be a Mexican kickboxer. You know.
Yeah, I'm pumped to see it. When's that come out?
September 9th, I believe.
Hell yeah, that's gonna be good. So who do you got? Adesanya, Cannonier.
Man, Cannonier's the homie, but man, I think that Adesanya is just like a master of range and distance and getting people to, like, you know, he feints a lot, you know, so he keeps people guessing. But same token, the hardest fight that Adesanya's had in the UFC was to a shorter guy like Gastelum, you know, so I'm just wondering if Cannonier probably hits a lot harder than he does, so I don't think it takes much from Cannonier, so you know, I'd like to see him, you know, move in and, you know,
take some risks.
See if he can, like, navigate that water like Gastelum did, you know. And, you know, I think he's, like, deceptively long, too, you know.
Yeah, he is.
Next to him, he's a little bit shorter, but, dude, his arms, his reach, is, you know, he's long, dude.
Yeah.
So.
And he's just got fucking heavy punches, dude.
Yeah.
He's kept all that power from when he was 300 pounds. It's weird with Gastelum, though. Gastelum's build and everything. He's just a tricky fucking southpaw.
Yeah, and he's fast too, dude.
Is he?
Don't sleep, you know, moving around in front of him. And he's strong, you know. Obviously, all these guys at the highest level have all the attributes, you know, strength, speed, quickness, reflexes, and things like that. But, you know, some of these guys are just different, dude. You look at Cannonier, you're like, holy fuck, dude. And, you know, like you said, he used to be 300 pounds. So, like, his bone density is that of a 300-pound dude, you know. Just walking around with what he, you know, if he walks around at 185, you know, it's like 115 pounds, you know, taking a weight vest off, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he walks around at, but, you know, when you're used to carrying that much weight and you lose it, but you lose it like in a healthy way, like he's healthy, dude. You know, he's, you know, it's probably how he's supposed to look the whole time. You know, I don't know what his eating habits and exercise habits were before, but, you know, he's a big, strong motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he's optimizing himself.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if there's anyone to do it, mentally, Jared's going to be the one to do it, but he's going to have to take some risks.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard fighting Izzy right now. Izzy's similar to Sugar in a lot of ways, I feel like. He's fucking very good at his distance, and he's punching you at the end of his punches. He's always making you out of range for you and in range for him. He's just fucking on top of it right now. I'm stoked for that fight, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I think me and my old lady are actually going to try and go.
Hell yeah, that'll be sweet. That'll be sweet. Sugar's on that card too, and then
he's fighting Pedro.
Big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a dope fight. Kind of same thing though, you know, much taller, longer guy versus. But, dude, I think Pedro's demise is, you know, he ducks his head down and he throws those wide, looping punches. So it's going to be hard to reach Sugar anyways, you know, because, you know, you're losing range off the looping punches.
Yeah, I was watching a bunch of his stuff yesterday. I'm like, he's always, I mean, he's really good if you sit in the pocket and banging. He might be the one who fucking clubs you and drops you, guillotines you, whatever. But he's got really good fucking calf kicks. And I know that's going to be the thing we got to have an answer for is the calf kicks. And, of course, he's going to try to pressure him. Of course, he's going to try to take him down. Of course, he's going to try to put him in the fence. That's what everyone's trying to do. But easier said than done. But I'm pumped, too.
And that big cage, dude, he's got all the room in the world to, you know, do what he does and move, stick and move, you know.
Pedro's a fucking stud, too, dude. Look at all his fights he takes. He fights literally the best guys. The best guys. And he could have been like, no, I'm not fighting Sean. I'm ranked above Sean. I want someone higher. But he's like, no, I'll take it. Sean's up and coming. Like, what a stud. So, no, and he's training at American Top Team. Good-ass gym. You know he's going to have a good game plan, be ready to go. But we're going to be ready to go, too. So it's going to be sweet. All right, brother. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, it's been good hanging out. So
I appreciate you having me.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, this episode is sponsored by Cushy Dreams, guys. Go check them out and get yourself a little something. All right, see you next week. Peace.
Feet are going to shuffle in. I'm going to throw it 2.